on, wind, come on. Hello everyone and welcome back to Combe Valley Campers. This week we're going to do a little build bio on my personal van, Bulli. So we're sat inside Bulli, my personal T3 camper van, or Type 25 camper van. This van holds quite a special story actually, and he's really important to me, this car. I keep saying his name's Bulli. I bought this van originally in 2009. I'd not been long out the army and I was hankering after a camper van. I did a quick search in Auto Trader. Yeah, Auto Trader was a thing. Facebook Marketplace didn't exist then. So I put into the search engine 1.9 turbo diesel Caravelle, and this appeared. Now this van has a 1.9 turbo diesel engine from a Mark III Golf, and it was in my budget. I think it was 1,700 quid, but it was in Portsmouth. So I live in a little town called Bexhill, and I rode my little Honda C90 motorcycle from Bexhill to Portsmouth, kind of blowing it up on the way, to go and collect the van. And by the time I got to the van, the motorbike was smoking, but we just threw it in the back and I drove this van all the way home. It was red and white then. I introduced the vehicle to my then girlfriend, who is my now wife, and we used this camper through all our sort of courting period. Throughout our courting period we used Bulli to get around. It was my only car, and it holds a special place in my heart because I just met my now wife and we got a lot of memories with this car. We made it into a very, very basic camper van. We did loads of festivals, loads of days out, and just lived in it for a little bit. You know, we used this van to move into our first flat together. In 2011 we actually bit the bullet and made it into a full-on camper van. I painted it by hand with some friends of mine, using rollers and paintbrushes. We lowered the suspension, and I built all of this interior from scratch. It's what sowed the seed for what I do today, which is Combe Valley Campers. So in 2011, my wife and I, we got married, and we used this car to drive us to our wedding location, which was in Poland. So we did the 1,000 miles in Bulli all the way to Poland, used him as our wedding car, and then we did 10 days round Europe for our honeymoon. And in the back window you'll see all the stickers of all the locations we went to, and we just had the best trip. We still talk about it today. It's 2019 now and we still talk about that trip. But in 2012 our first child was due, and we made the very difficult decision to sell Bulli for a sensible family car, and we thought we'd never see him again. And it broke our heart, and we kept talking about getting another van. And in the summer of 2018 I had just come back from a show, flicking through eBay, and Bulli turned up on eBay, and I contacted the seller and I said, this is my old camper van, it's the one I built. I owned him 6 years ago. And the guy got back in touch with me. He said, it's me, it's the guy you sold the van to 6 years ago. I've still got it and I would love to sell it back to you. And so that's what happened. We drove up to go and get Bulli, and he's been with us ever since. And now my girls are 7 and 4, and they absolutely love it and treat it as part of a family member, much like we do. So yeah, it's a remarkable van. We've got lots of plans for it, and the reason I wanted to do a video today was it's never going to look like this again. After we've had our summer holiday this year, 2019, it's all going to be torn apart. We're going to redo the interior, we're going to put a pop top in the roof, we're going to change the paintwork, change everything, because we're going to take you guys, the viewers of Combe Valley Campers videos, on a journey on how we rebuild this van. So yeah, we're going to change everything about it, and we're going to take you along for the ride as well. So when I built this van all those years ago, we didn't have a lot of money because we were saving up for our wedding. So we found a camper van that was being broken of all its parts, and we bought a used interior. In that interior, there was a stove and sink. We cut the sink off. So it had a stove and sink, it had a fridge, it had bed cushions, it had this buddy seat, and just some other little bits and pieces, but mainly dimensions that we could use to make our own interior. So yeah, the interior itself is made from chipboard panels from Wix, which is a DIY store in England, if you don't know. And I just chopped it all up into the shapes and sizes that I wanted to, and then I used this iron-on edging to make all the shapes I wanted to. But yeah, it was done completely on a budget. I think I built the entire interior in my spare time for a grand total of about £1,000, because everything's either used or handmade or homemade. But it's been perfect for what we need. The rock and roll bed, the bed hinges, they were from an IKEA futon mattress, which we modified and then used the cushions from the old interior to then make into a bed. But 10 years down the line, it's starting to get a bit dog-eared, bits are missing, it's already belonged to somebody else, but essentially it's the same van that I sold in 2012. So yeah, but it's got a stove with a grill. That works out really well. It has the 3-way fridge, which runs off either 240 volt, 12 volt or gas. Plenty of storage for all your bits and pieces. A rather nice sound system, which is run on, so it's got 6x9 speakers that is run by an amp, a CD player, DAB, and USB and Bluetooth stereo head unit. But that's about it. It's designed as a 2-berth camper van because there was only 2 of us when we built it. But yeah, we're going to be building it now into a 4-berth camper van for us and the kids as well. When the van was built in '83, it was a 1.6 diesel naturally aspirated van, but a caravel, so it's quite high spec. So it's got the nice captain's chairs, it's got the padded steering wheel, padded dash, carpet in the cab rather than just a rubber mat, and all the nice door cards. And and it's got a full headliner as well. So it was a full-on caravel as opposed to a camper van. And then we just modified it to what we wanted to. The engine in the back is now a 1.9 turbo diesel from a Mark III Golf. It's not the engine that was in the van when we bought it. That blew up. So we've since replaced it with another fairly low mileage 1.9 turbo diesel. But yeah, we had all the curtains made. I put all these curtain rails in, but it was what, like I said, it's what sowed the seed for me for the van life, going away camping, building these vehicles, and also showing people how to build these vans. Because whilst I was building this, I was documenting it and logging everything on a forum called Club 8090, which is a VW T3 based UK forum. People don't really go on forums today. They use Facebook or YouTube, I suppose. But yeah, so I documented the entire build on Club 8090, and that worked out really well, and a lot of people had benefited from it, should I say. On our honeymoon, we went from Poland through Czech Republic to Austria, then to Italy and Venice, Savona, Vienna, Verona, then we did the Italy to France coast road, Saint-Tropez, Monaco, and then up through France to the ferry home. We did something like 3,000 miles in 10 days, but it was totally worth it. It was really, really good. So yeah, that is Bulli. We love this van to death. We will always keep this vehicle now. We won't sell this vehicle. We're going to keep evolving it to our new family circumstances. And yeah, new pop top, new interior, new facilities, and we've got a couple of things we're going to do to this van that you may not know about yet. So stay tuned. I'm excited for the build. I'm excited for the journey we're going to take you on as well whilst we're building this. And yeah, stay tuned. There's going to be a lot of interesting stuff coming up. Thank you very much.